Hey guys, good morning. I got out here bright and early, hoping to beat the wind. Thought it would be calm, show you guys what this gun could really do. Of course, the breeze picked up a little bit, but it's not bad. It's about 5 miles an hour or so. So we're gonna see what happens. The difference between this video and other videos that show groups is I'm gonna have it through the scope cam, which lots of people do. Basically mandatory if you're gonna trust the content, but not only am I gonna shoot slugs, I'm also gonna shoot pellets, and we're not doing 100-yard groups. We're gonna shoot at 175 yards, and just show you what the system is capable of in real world conditions, off the cuff. Also, I'm not gonna be shooting paper because sadly there's a lot of trust issues with viewers on YouTube and content providers. Well, forget all that. I'm gonna shoot steel, print some groups on steel, and that way you can hear the delay. There's no question about what's happening. I'm not trying to, prove that this is better than my MK2 in terms of accuracy or anything like that. It's just all transparent. You can't possibly fake the scope cam alongside of a B-roll cam on steel. The sound and the delay will tell the whole tale. So let's get to it. All right, that view should have you looking at the steel. Now this gun is tuned up. I dialed the dope on. The one thing I didn't do is fire a single shot. So we'll see if my dope call is correct, and we'll also see how the gun does, cold right out of the box. It's been sitting for a full week because I've been so busy at work. So it'll be a fun test to see if I can actually get the job done here. I'm gonna try and land the slug right on that bolt. A little bit high. So I'm testing out stray lock and working on my BCs. And you can see the gun settling in now. Little wind pickup. So let's go call that I am 3 MOA high. Gun's a little warmed up. I'm not, but let's aim right on because it doesn't seem like I need to hold wind really. Spin drift is taking care of it. That hit the edge of the bolt. Hit the bolt. That's 3 on top of each other and 1 out. That is darn good at 175. So I'm going to have to adjust my ballistics program for sure. Because, 3 MOA is pretty unacceptable at at $1.75 to be off by that much. Now, I don't know how this is going to work. I'm going to take this out. And just so there's no funny business, you can see that's what I've shot. I'm going to take this out, swap it for pellets. And I'm going to kick it over to my pellet tune. Now, personally, I believe that the gun's going to need quite a few shots to settle in. At this range, I think you're going to see a pretty drastic difference in performance as the barrel gets used to the different lead alloy, the different shape and drag patterns through the twist, and of course the hammer setting in and the valve adjuster setting in. However, for the sake of transparency and curiosity on my end, I'm just going to shoot. I'm going to let this whole camera roll, and you're going to see me actually switch my tune. That's going to take literally just a few seconds. So we're loaded back up at the 44 grain pellets. I was shooting those slugs at 965. I want to shoot these at 880. So I'm gonna take this in till I see 1.5 turns. Okay, valves adjusted. I'm gonna decock the gun because you can't change the tune with the hammer on. Tension down to 1. Okay, and then I don't know. Let's just add 8 MOA and hope that we land on the steel. And if not, I'll get it adjusted and we'll get them on the steel. All I know is that at $1.75, they're gonna drop a lot more than the slugs did. All right, here we go. I'm gonna hold 3 MOA a win and hopefully land in the center somewhere, probably a little low. Oh yeah, okay, I saw it way low still. So, let's come up and let's hold 8 for wind. Okay, so the height's pretty good. We're gonna need 5. I wanna keep it out of that group, so I'm just gonna come down a little bit. We're gonna hold 5 and fire a group, and remember, this gun is not settled in yet, but I'm curious to see how it does. That's pellets at 175 yards, guys. That is relatively impressive for not settling in. We're holding sub 2 MOA, just barely under 2 MOA at $1.75 with pellets in actual conditions. I'm gonna dial down a few more MOA so that we can print a new group, just to see what happens. So this one should land a bit lower than it. And I'm gonna hold 4 MOA to center it up a bit. Oh, that one's bad. And so we'll talk about that in a second. That one's back up on the height. So with pellets straight out of the tin, you know, you might have a damaged skirt or whatever. Maybe the wind just played me. I don't think it did, but it wasn't perfect, I can tell you that. So just for fun, let's take it all the way down to 0. Okay, Straylock called for me to be at 26 MOA, and I said it was 3 high, so it's 26. We're gonna bring it back down to where I was shooting before. Now I'm gonna dump these pellets out, and let's tune the gun back up for slugs without letting it get used to the hammer adjustment at all. There's 5 in there. Where's my air at? Yeah, I'm still fine. I didn't really fill the gun up before I came out because I'm lazy. All right, we're gonna take the hammer back up to 16. Whoops, went too far. Okay, I'm on 16. We're gonna back the valve back out until I see that line 3 times, which tells me, hey, you have reached 1.5 turns. So we should be back up in that 965 range again. And this is gonna tell us if I am. Let's try to print. I'm gonna use that mark right there in the crosshairs on my 4 MOA line, or my 4 MOA circle, to hopefully land a group below and in the clear so we can see how the gun's doing. I mean, right on the crosshair. keep in mind that I literally just went from slugs to pellets to slugs. And that's a heck of a group, even when the gun's warmed up and tuned in. I'm pleased. I don't know. I don't know how you can get more versatile than that. You just watch me go from slugs about 100 feet per second faster than pellets, all the way down to pellets, then go right back up, all on the same fill, continuous roll. It's an incredible system. That's, I think, the most impressive part to me is the system is letting me switch back and forth. That's where it's just blowing away the MK2. And a lot of people are asking, like, hey, you know, I have an MK2. Should I sell it to get the M3? My candid response to that is, if your MK2 is tuned and shooting exactly the way you want to shoot it for your shooting conditions and your projectile, why would you ever switch? That's a great gun. It's a great platform. If you want to switch back and forth between slugs and pellets for different situations and have that repeatability and the valve just performing amazing, and you know, the quick tune system, and I'm gonna roll some numbers on my tunes so that you guys can do what I just did. If you're not looking to be that switch back and forth, stick with your MK2 if it's shooting the way you want it to. I mean, it's a great platform. It's won a ton of competitions. It's going to continue to win a ton of competitions, I guarantee it. Now, the other thing, though, is if you get all kinds of excited when sweet accessories come out, like I do, I would consider maybe then selling and getting the MK3. Here's why. You've got, you know, an inline chronograph, fine. That is cool. That's not what I'm most excited about. What I'm most excited about is the barrel weight tuning system that's coming out. It replaces the shroud. The barrel weight, you just turn it, and we're going to be able to micro tune the waves and the way that the barrel reacts to the shock of the air and the pellet going down it. Chris Turek got together with FX and got this thing dialed in, and I am chomping at the bit. The groups that you just saw me shoot are real. Again, they're at 175. So, you know, would they be tighter at 100? Of course. Would they be looser at 300? Yeah, they will be. But it's real conditions and far enough that the wind plays havoc on both up and down, and yet it's still holding. But, I mean, go ahead and watch this back and just watch me flip the tune from one to the other. That's what just blows me away. So, especially, like, you know, if you're going to go to RMAC, for instance, and you want to shoot in their slug challenge and you want to shoot in their bench rest, but you can only afford one gun, well, here you go. You know, shoot the slugs, tune it back down, boom, you're right back. You want to shoot more slugs? Cool, turn it right back up. Can't say enough about the repeatability of that system. And at 175 yards, if it wasn't repeatable, it would be spraying everywhere. So, pretty awesome. I wish that I had stray lock tuned in a little bit more for you guys, so we could have gotten like a first round hit out of a cold bore. But it is what it is. And then when I was talking about the gun not being warmed up, we're not actually talking about the gun itself. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on when you fire a projectile down the barrel with compressed air. And one time when I was hunting with Ernest Rowe, he told me that he would never shoot a group on paper unless he was going to send maybe 10, 15, a whole magazine down the barrel. And I was like, why? And he related it to, in the firearm world, you know, you're like, well, is the barrel cold or is it warm? Because it's going to react differently. And if I remember right, he said that, because this was over a year ago, but if I remember right, he said that the barrel will actually get colder where the air enters it, and that makes a difference. So I found that pretty interesting, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but what I can tell you is the groups tighten up significantly after getting a full mag through the gun on rapid fire to get it in the state, temperature-wise, that it will be in for the rest of the competition. So that's pretty cool, just a little tidbit. We're gonna, you know, take some pics of the gun, show you guys some eye candy, and of course, I saw with my naked eye those pellets and slugs coming in against that black background. So if anything, it's worth showing you guys in slow-mo. We're we're gonna get it done. So peace. I hope that helped you understand the system a little bit better and just kind of display, you know, how different you can shoot this gun versus the older models. But again, if your MK2 is shooting and you're happy, I say save your money, hold on to your MK2. It's an awesome gun. But if you want to be able to flip-flop, or those accessories are just blowing your mind and you're chomping at the bit to get them like I am, then get the MK3, I mean, or the M3 rather. You know, it's all personal decisions, man, but don't feel like your MK2 is inept and, you know, old school now. It's not. It's a great platform. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace. Three, two.
Done.
Done.